Welcome back to the Cars of a Cell channel. We are at the Munich Legends, Legends of the Fall event, a celebration of really, really cool cars. Guess what? They're all BMWs, of course, but we're celebrating, I believe, 60 years of Alpina. That's all the Alpinas here in the forecourt around us. Have a little look. And 50 years of BMW 3 Series, and of course, all the latest stuff and some of the old stuff. It's a great mix of stuff. We're going to be filming quite informally today, but I've got my phone with me, so if I want to show you up close, I'll get this out and record. But should we go for a little walk, Julian? Follow us around. But outside the Munich Legends forecourts, we have got a selection of Alpinas. This car I want to kind of just point to your attention to, because this is actually one of Munich Legends' courtesy cars. A 3.3 litre Alpina B10 manual. It's so cool, and actually, I had this as a courtesy car for a little bit, and I've made a video about it. Maybe it's come out by now, maybe it hasn't. Maybe you'll find it on my channel, have a look around. But really, really cool car. The thing I love about all these Alpinas, including this one, is they're all really high mileage. People drive Alpinas. Oh, got an M2, that's not for me. Let's go back to the Alpinas. They're far more tame, aren't they? A one-of-one Alpina B10 4.6 litre, one of the earliest examples of this Switchtronic, like the paddle shift gearbox. In fact, let me get my my phone camera out here. We'll record this. So in there you can see the buttons up and down the steering wheel. That's the Switchtronic, but a really, really high-spec car. And adjusted for inflation, it was £200,000. Well, today's pricing, that is. So back then it would have been £74,000. But a really, really cool car. So the owner of this car has two other Alpinas. He's got the 7 Series E39 in there, E38, and he's also got an E39 Touring V8 as well. But follow me around here. Now there's a bit of a con, because actually this next car is my car. And it's not actually a real Alpina. It's a 325i dressed up like an Alpina, but it looks pretty good. It matches up the rest of the cars here. It's been looked after by Munich Legends, so of course they've invited me to have it parked up front, which is always pretty cool. But you guys will know that I've got a manual B3 that we're restoring. Again, you'll find the links to those episodes somewhere on the screen or in the description. But then over to the right, a V8 E39. These are quite cool cars, proper touring, long distance cars. So comfy, so powerful at the same time. But I just love how subtle they look. That's the thing about Alpina, is they're subtle looking cars. Now, one thing I do want to point out is actually the Alpina rims, because these are quite famous, right? Iconic 20-inch multi-spoke wheels, but people comment, if you've got the valve stem outside, surely that's a fake rim. Well, no, because if we point over to this lovely old Alpina, it's got a valve stem outside. There was a switchover point in the mid-90s where they went from these hardline alloys with the valve stem outside to the softline alloys with the valve stem inside. So, my E36, the other Alpina B3 that I've got also, they'll all have the valve stems on the outside, and they are genuine Alpina wheels. Now here's the thing, I'm no Alpina connoisseur, so I don't know their names, I don't know what makes them special. All I know is they're extremely rare cars, and most of them are one of one or one of two. But this one is, this one looks brand new. If I ever dinged it or scratched it, I think I'd be in debt for the rest of my life. And then in here, look at this bright red. And like, who doesn't love a shark nose? What a cool thing. You see them a lot more now. People are really restoring these and putting them on the market and on the road, and they look awesome. Even just the standard 6 Series looks pretty cool. But then to see one with all the Alpina stuff and the gold trim with the red, quite an interesting combination, but still really, really special. 5 Series Alpina here. That's the iconic Alpina blue colour. Guess what? You can only have it on Alpinas. They did the Alpina green as well. Very uniquely named. But I think what looks better is the Montreal blue metallic, which is a normal BMW metallic colour on this V12 Alpina 7 Series. So again, the same owner who had that E34 Touring V8 owns this too, and it is pretty special. He's waiting to get the decals, the Alpina deco set on it later this year. Like, imagine being in the back seats of this in the late 90s. The telephones on this car still work. You can actually get a 2G SIM card, which they can't discontinue. The driver can have their own number, and the owner of the car can have their own number. Just in case you had some top-secret conversations you don't want your driver spying on. I've got no idea, but you can do it if you wanted to. And of course, this did have the screen back then, but it's been retrofitted with a vintage Sony DVD player. Just cool. Just mega cool. Shall we exit the showroom of things that I might damage and then never financially recover from and move on to the rest of the forecourt? Oh, look at this badge. B7S Turbo. Oh, it's so cool. Right, follow us to the other side. Right, so we've made it to the other side. We're outside the pub car park next door to Munich Legends, and that's where the rest of the cars are. There's still actually a few Alpinas here, which we'll definitely have a look at. So behind me, some pretty legendary BMW M5s, the E34 straight 6, and of course the E39 V8. Which would you rather have, red or blue? Six-cylinder, or V8? And of course behind us, X5s, doing X5 things, because why not? I really like the little wheels on that X5. I don't know what it is, but I like a standard spec looking thing. Don't get me wrong, I love an M Sport, I love a high trim, but something about a standard spec car looks really cool. Follow me. Also, there's going to be a lot of people around, so again, quite an informal video. We're not going to worry about them too much. But also bear in mind, all these people here are absolute legends because they all drive these cool cars, so maybe we do want them in the video. But check this out. And Alpinas are cool, but an M635i or 2. 2002 turbo. How cool. It's mad to think that these are now 60 years old. 60 years old, nearly the same age as, what's the pension age these days? Is it 65? So 5 years away from its pension. Pretty cool. And the fact that you've got 2002 and turbo written backwards. So people, like, looking back in the rearview mirrors would see this and think, shit, I need to get out of the way, don't I? How cool. Legendary M1. I think Johnny Smith did a video on this, driving this exact car with the owner of Munich Legends, Dan. So there's a video on the YouTube somewhere, but what a cool bit of kit. Engineered and designed in partnership with Lamborghini, I think before something broke down the relationship, they couldn't quite carry on anymore. What a wild time to be alive when this thing came out. And the iconic Batmobile 3-litre CSL E9 BMW. I think it's an E9. Folks, if I'm getting stuff wrong, you will comment down below and let me know I'm wrong, right? And I'm also really hoping that you can hear me. I've realised that there's a lot of music here and that's all copyrighted, so maybe we'll walk away from the music. Another 6 Series. I wonder what the colour names are. I wish like every car had a plaque that told you like what all the optional extras are, how much it costs brand new. I do find it really geeky when people do that, but also I do love it when people do that at the same time. So if you're ever taking your car to a car show, put a little plaque out. How much was it brand new? What optional extras are on it? What makes it special? It's always quite cool. Right, let's try and sneak in now. Long Beach Blue F87 M2. I remember when these first came out, the world went absolutely wild for them because this replaced the iconic 1M Coupe, which was a limited edition car, and these were a normal production. But the funny thing is, these came out and about 9 months later, they facelifted them, which was pretty weird. So the pre-facelifts are actually extremely rare cars. An Alpina B2.5 E36 in Montreal blue with the light silver grey interior and 5-speed manual gearbox. So that's what my silver car is trying to replicate, is basically this car, an early E36. The difference between my silver one and this Montreal blue one is this is a genuinely Alpina B2.5. And the difference is, I wish we had the owner here, is when you open up the bonnet, the engine on these early B2.5s don't have Vanos. Whereas mine has Vanos, so it's a normal BMW 325i engine. Whereas these were pre-Vanos, and that's what Alpina tuned to make the B2.5. This was a UK-only car. You couldn't get this anywhere else in the world. It was built in Munich, sent to the UK, and then assembled. All these Alpina bits were assembled in Nottingham. And of course here, Alpina wheels, hardline edge, valve stems on the outside, genuine rim. The new steering wheel, Momo Alpina leather wheel, the classic Alpina wooden shift knob, what a cool thing. The light interior, there's the Alpina badge on the dashboard. And of course the sunroof. But yeah, if you ever see a B2.5 on the road, extremely rare thing. And also, this one's real. Love the decals and love the Montreal blue paint. Needs a bit of a wash, but you know what? I respect it because it's been driven. And that's the main thing. People drive these cars. If you drive them, you keep them alive. If you store them, they will unfortunately rot away and die. But I do love an E34. Tell you what, let's have a look at something newer, shall we? There is a car that's here, which is only 2 days old. 2 days old. He's literally just driven it off the showroom all the way down here. And it's actually one of the only new BMWs I actually like. There's 2 new BMWs I like. New 4 Series Grand Coupe, especially the electric one. I do love an i4. This is a 420 petrol. I'm impartial to an i4. Someone wants to give me one for Christmas or my birthday in October, get me an i4. But the new M240i X-Drive. Remind me, Julian, what colour red? Fire red metallic. What a cool car. And to think that this is now like the entry-level rear-wheel drive car, but with the tech that you get inside it, it feels like a proper GT. You could take this on cross-continent drives, and it'll do like 40 to the gallon. This is the mad thing about this engine. The B58, I think, is going to hit the history books as one of the most iconic engines ever made, because to get 40 miles per gallon in a car that has, what, 340 horsepower? 370 horsepower, four-wheel drive. This is a proper adventure machine. 4 seats, 2+2, but I think the back seats are actually pretty usable. Well, if you're my height, which is like 5 foot nothing, Julian's actually quite tall, who owns this car. He's just picked it up from the dealership the other day. But he's come from 2.8 series to an M135i, the 2-litre hatchback, and then back into this. What a cool selection of cars. But it has got a massive bonnet, hasn't it? You've got to pilot that bonnet. Again, one of my favourite BMWs for sale. This, the Z4. Z4 still for sale? Are they just about still for sale? This, the Z4 and the i4. My favourite cars from BMW. Look at that. 75 plate. So for those of you outside the UK, the number plates in the UK change every 6 months. 1st of March, 1st of September. And in March it goes by the year. So it'll go 2025, which means it'd be a 25 plate on the 1st of March. September, it jumps to 75. And then next year it'll be 26 in March, 76. So this is literally, that plate is 2 days old. Find another 75 plate, I dare you. So from the newest car on the show, the lovely Fire Red M240i, to one of the oldest cars on the show, and I think what might be one of its ancestors. This is a BMW 2000. Now, I'm not really sure about the naming culture of these, but these came before the 3 Series, and this is on a, was it a J-Reg? A H-Reg, 1970 H-Reg. And the fact that this is here, and it's just a normal saloon car, it's pretty nuts. Now, I seem to think it's like a 3 Series predecessor. Julian seems to think it's a 5 Series predecessor. If you are a BMW anorak, please let us know in the comments. But just looking at the interior, like, it is proper cool inside here. The gauges, the wood trim, the 3-spoke wheel with like the metal finishes around, manual gearbox. This is a pretty cool thing. And actually, even the back seats look pretty comfy. Like, walk around it, because the thing I've noticed about these older sort of BMWs is, like, they all have very different looking tail lights. Like, the 2002s have the round ones, so they have the blocky ones. This has like a really long rectangular one that looks actually quite modern in comparison. It looks like this was here just before the E12 5 Series came out. But what a cool thing. Look at the overriders, look at the chrome. It actually feels like quite a substantial car. I wonder what this is like to drive or to be driven in. And you know it's an old car when you only have the one mirror. There's nothing here. Just a quarter light window you can open up to let a little bit of fresh air in on a nice drive down a B road somewhere. In Sussex maybe while we're here. Yeah, what a cool bit of kit. Tax disc 1987. What does that sticker say? Do not drain antifreeze. Have a look at this. For winter and summer protection. Okay then, I mean, BMW's drain their own antifreeze, so why would you bother draining it yourself? It's self-changing, just like your oil on BMWs. What a cool bit of kit. And I think back then there was something about if you had twin headlights, you had the bigger engine, whereas single headlight cars would be the smaller engine. So I think 2002's single headlights. Twin headlights, so this must be the big block, whatever it is. F10 M5. Impartial. I really respect the owner for keeping the chrome grills. I love the chrome finish on these. And you know a car's good and been well maintained when you see a heritage sticker. That's how you know this car has been in a loving home, maintained properly. What a cool spec. I think Sakir Orange Metallic, which is an M-only colour. And I think next to that is the V10 M5. I think Silverstone Metallic. Yeah, there's a bit of a trend here. M colours tend to follow racetracks. So Sakir, which is Bahrain. Silverstone, UK of course. And Valencia Orange with the Oyster interior. This is quite a cool spec. M Sport Plus pack. You've got the big brakes, that's how you know it's an M Sport Plus pack. Oyster leather interior. What is this, petrol? It's a petrol engine car because it revs to 7,000 RPM. Chrome trim, look at this, 118i. Somebody spec this from the factory. No one ever picks this sort of combination, how cool. So this has got the same engine. This is the 1.5 3-cylinder in the i8. Not the same power, sadly, but the fact that they've gone orange with chrome trim, Oyster Sport seats, M Sport, and M Sport Plus. Kudos to the owner, this is a really cool spec. And look at this, adaptive LED. It's all in the detail, folks. It really is all in the detail. This is really geeky stuff, but I used to work in car dealerships, and this was like, no one would ever pick this sort of combination. Yeah, this is cool. That is a cool car. This is a cool car. Every time we think we've finished filming, another cool thing arrives, and another Alpina E36. Now, I am going to be a little bit obsessed, because I've got one, and I've got a fake one over there, of course, but this is a Montreal Blue Alpina E36 Touring 3.2 Switchtronic. So, to recap, mine's a replica of a B2.5, which is an early E36 Alpina. The restoration project that you can watch on my YouTube channel is a B3 3-litre, which is the M50 Iron Block engine, the pre-facelift engine. And this is the post-facelift aluminium block 3.2 engine. So slightly more power, 260 horsepower, mine's 250, and that, if it was genuine, would be 210. So you can see kind of leveling up in the world. The thing that I love about this is all the options, because this has all of the options. So it is a Switchtronic, which means automatic gearbox. It's got the up and down buttons there on the steering wheel. But the heated seats, the advanced sound system with the extra tweeters, has got the sunroof, but the red leather interior. This is like a Wonder Woman or Superman spec car. Red on blue, but it's quite like a subtle red on blue. But the extended leather goes all the way around the doors. Can I get a bit of a shadow there? You can see the red. No, that's really ruined it. But you get the idea, folks. A lot of leather. It's all very red. It's all very pretty. And back here, of course, big, boxy, touring. Oh gosh, next to an Alpina XB7. Another big, blocky touring thing, but from the modern era. I'd much rather have this than the B7, but that, I cannot deny, is a pretty cool thing. It's literally like a skyscraper parking behind this little E36. How crazy! But yeah, let's give it one last look around, shall we? Nice E30 318 IS just drove past. Let's give it one last look around. Even got the headlight washers up front. What a lovely high spec thing this is. Yeah, I just want to get my car done, really. That's what I want to do. On this last detail, softline wheels. This is a facelift E36, so no valve stem, that's built in here, and you've got the soft line ridge, which is actually easier to clean. I hate cleaning my hardline alloys. It's a lot of spoken, if you know what I mean. That's a good place to end this part of the video. I think we're going to put the camera down now, Julian, and just enjoy the rest of the vibes and meet some cool people and have some food. But yeah, this happens every beginning of September every year, so keep in touch on the Munich Legends Instagram page. Follow me on my Instagram page. I'll link it somewhere. You'll find me there if you want to have a chat. But if you drive a BMW, comment down below. Let me know what you drive. If you hate BMWs, tell me why. I'd love to hear. Anyway, watch the rest of my videos. We do electric cars, we do old BMW stuff. I'm restoring an Alpina B3. You can follow that. So we're doing a lot on the channel. But thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.